issue we see with organizations is, just like when medical device companies are trying to put a protocol out of sight, out of mind, as soon as they leave the OR or the ICU, they stop using it. It's kind of the same way with salespeople, and this is the biggest challenge we see with sales training as a traditional model. They go to that one big day or the 4 hours before the evening event. They hope to try to train, even if they do quarterly. But unfortunately, when these reps are out in the field, everything's forgotten. They're not necessarily using Salesforce.com to input their notes. So part of really, truly creating a hospital relationship comes down to developing a sales management process. And it's really a process for interrogating the reality of what salespeople say versus that they have an 80% chance of closure and then everything just falls out at the end of the quarter. As we move to the next slide, what we've done is we've broken out this sales management, and this is for regional sales managers. The flow of what we're talking about here is developing the right tools for the salespeople, a program and tool sets for salespeople to work with their champions in the hospital. This third of the 4 components is a process and program for helping regional managers work with their salespeople. So many times we see managers that were A players. They're wired by a credo that they don't like to be managed. Unfortunately, we move them into a level of management, and their idea of management, unfortunately, is a lot of taking on high-value situations, putting out fires, hopping on planes, running to every single hospital, versus having a process for coaching from the sideline and building a scalable region. So we look at really 4 components, and it's a process it's a toolkit that we develop or working with companies that they need to have for giving managers question sets to do a true debrief instead of a Monday morning call that sounds like, what do you got? How'd that meeting go? Do you need any resources? Can I count on you to close it? It's more a matter of, if we flip to the next slide, having, and these are just sample questions, having a strategy to coach a salesperson, having the question sets to ask them, and even baking this into Salesforce.com. And as we move through these slides, these next 2, just to show you some samples, it's really about, if I'm a manager, and a salesperson says, I've got a great champion, and they're really excited, and they're going to get some pull-through for us, what are the questions I need to ask? The salesperson walks away from that call and says, hey, those were great questions. Let's put together what we call micro moves to really build a better campaign instead of relying on any 1 or 2 champions for us.